Tuning a tabla. This is a demonstration of basic tuning techniques. Tuning a tabla is kind of a big subject. It's pretty complicated in lots of ways. So give yourself time, be patient. When you're learning how to tune a tabla, it takes time. And the only really real way to learn how to do it is just by doing it. So trial and error. Trial and error is really how you learn how to tune tablas. Every drum is slightly different from every other drum. Some drums are very well balanced and in tune to themselves. Other tablas are out of tune to themselves or not well balanced, and that makes tuning problematic at times. So the better your tabla and the more balanced it is, the easier time you will have tuning it. The tabla is a tuned drum. It's tuned to one pitch. The pitch is determined by the size of the head and the thickness of the leather. So you have to be aware of that when you're tuning a drum. You don't want to try and tune a drum higher than it's meant to be, because you'll split the drum or hurt it. So you have to be aware of the proper pitch for the drum. So that's some information you should have before you really start trying to change it radically. I am going to turn on a tuning reference. It always helps to have a note to listen to help you compare it to tune it. So that's what I'm going to be tuning it to. And they're not the same note. This is ni, sa. So this is a half step below that pitch. So I'm going to actually change this drum by a half step. And that's a pretty big change for a tabla. So let's talk about the basics of tuning. You have two areas that you hit up or down to change the pitch. You have the blocks for big changes and the braid for small changes. And you use a tuning hammer to help you tune the drum. The hammer itself is designed to get in between the straps. This part of the hammer is used for when you're knocking the braid down for fine changes. And notice that it fits in between the straps. As much as possible, try not to hit directly on top of the straps. You can, and sometimes you have to, hit on top of the straps, but the more you can avoid doing that, the longer your strap life will be. Okay? And then the other side of the hammer is much thinner, and that's designed to get in between the straps to knock your blocks up or down, down, up, and also to get in between the straps to knock your braid up. So when you're tuning, fine tuning on the braid, the motion is kind of like that. You're going down and up. When you knock it down, it raises the tension and raises the pitch. When you hit it up, it lowers the tension, lowers the pitch. We're going to have to change it by a half step here. So that means we're going to use the blocks for big changes. So when you tune a drum, you're always moving it around and comparing the different sounds. Now that's a lot lower. Can you hear that? If you can't hear it, it really helps to be able to sing the note. Sa. If you can't sing that note, you're going to have a hard time tuning the drum. So studying singing is really going to help you to tune this drum. Okay? So we're going to knock it down quite a bit because that's a big change. We're going to go all the way around and just in general knock the blocks down a ways to get that half step change. Normally you probably wouldn't have to change the drum that much. Usually your tabla is going to be pretty close to the pitch you want it. In fact, it's better to keep a drum at a specific pitch. That'll increase the life of the drum quite a bit. So, but in this case, we want to change it, take it up a half step. So, knocking the blocks down. And then once I have them down a ways, you knock the braid down. And that increases the tension and raises the pitch. getting closer. Don't be afraid to go just a little bit above the pitch either, because you can always bring it back down with a braid. When you make such big changes, when you're tuning a drum, it's going to take a while to settle too. So once you get it pretty close to in tune, you'll have to go back around and check it. Once you get it close, then you want to start hitting the drum a little bit softer. Really listening to the overtones. That's a little high. So we'll bring it back down with the braid. So, basic concepts, your tuning hammer, big changes on the block, small changes on the braid. Anytime you hit down on either the block or the braid, you increase the tension, raise the pitch. When you hit the blocks up or the braid up, it lowers the tension on the straps and lowers the pitch. A well-balanced drum is going to be a lot easier to tune than an unbalanced drum. So think about that as well. If you're having trouble tuning your drum, check the tensioning on your drum and see if the blocks are all on the same level. That means your drum is probably well balanced. But if they're indifferent, if this one's up and that one's down and they're at the same pitch, that means you need to retension the drum. That'll make tuning a lot easier.